Okay, so this begins the third episode in the Horrors at the Asylum series with Game Night's new champions. We're using heroes, we're using Brennel's hero mod, and we've got a full table. As you can see, we've got, how many players do we have tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players tonight, plus me as a GM, and then several other NPCs and things that are going to be on the table. So pretty cool to have so much going on the table, and the hero mod definitely helps us do that. The heroes find themselves at this asylum. They followed the trail back from a human trafficking ring that they kind of busted up at the carnival. That was kind of a creepy carnival. They found themselves following the lead back to this asylum, which is they thought was an asylum, but was also kind of the GPS coordinates for a headquarters for a seemingly reputable, a positive repute organization called NexHuman, like a biogenics organization. But I think the team has got some hesitations here because of some of the mutants and the killing that's been happening with these mutants as they've been escaping. So the team fought their way through some escaped mutants that were coming out of the asylum. There were also other heroes and superheroes and people escaping from the asylum during that time. The heroes witnessed a lot of that, even recognized one, a superpowered person called Monsoon. As she escaped away, weren't able to keep up with her. But the team made their way into the asylum and are there. That's where we are. Some of the players have done a little bit of offline work, so I'm going to give them an opportunity to speak first. But tonight's episode is going to be pretty heavy role play, a lot less battling, hopefully, and we'll see how it goes. See if we have a little bit of fun. We're going to start the session tonight with an update from Sandcrab, who is in the basement, and I'm going to move the camera to where Sandcrab is. Sandcrab, I placed you in the morgue over here if anybody wants to see where he's at.
Got it.
But Sandcrab, you want to tell us, share with the team? I know you've done some of this offline roleplay over comms and things like that, but I'll give it the floor to you.
All right. Well, just to replay what we did online, Sandcrab said he was going into what he saw as some basement levels, and once he was down there, he sent a message to Cypher that there were some cameras and if he could disable them, and Cypher followed up on that, and then he went into a room, a couple of them, and saw some pretty gruesome scenes, and he's currently looking for clues in this laboratory.
Okay, so I will give you an opportunity to make maybe a next action or a next role play. You're in this room. Is there anything particular that you would want to be doing next? As you stand in front of this gruesomely bloody covered corpse in the morgue.
After examining it, the findings that I found were that it was nanite infested, but they were not active anymore.
That's right. That's right. You could definitely tell the traces of it, and that's, obviously your power combos. So you see where the pathways would have been. They're not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
If they are, they're dead. They're
to go over it. Before I had gone into this room and warned about the cameras, I had mentioned that there was a enormous man heading up the stairs into the mansion, and I figured the rest of the team could take him because there's only one guy, but I'm keeping an eye on that as well.
Okay, so kind of in the back of your spatial awareness, you're watching that going on as well.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'll continue to search the room.
Yeah,
do you use a is there a computer interface in here?
No, not in the morgue.
Not in the morgue.
There is one in the room over in this kind of experimentation chamber.
Okay. And I don't see anybody alive in here or in the cold storage drawers either, right?
Nope, nope. They all are surely dead.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of doors that are
Um,
still open, but I guess spatially you would see there are other bodies in those doors as well. Different types of deformations, different types of mangled messes. And you all saw
right.
those mutants as they were coming out. Some of them were like split in the middle. Some of them had pustules. Some was weird things.
All
Um,
right. So Sandcrab's going to kind of surmise that this is the room they were probably experimenting on some host captives to make them into mutants, and that other room, just one to the left or right here, was where they were activating the nanites in them to make the mutants. Because that guy kind of looked like one of the mutants that we saw upstairs, out in the grounds.
okay.
So maybe there's some identification on this table over here. Any personal items or ID, that kind of stuff?
Um, like in this little like where you got the shelves and the table. No, there's not any identification there. There are some papers and stuff like that, so you see notes and stuff, but nobody has left behind. Unfortunately, nobody has left behind their IDs or stuff like that. But you could
All right,
examine the
so
papers, yeah, of course.
he'll flip the papers over really quick and memorize them all,
Okay.
and then head to the computer room.
Okay. Do you want to there will be some things on that paper that might be interesting. Do you want to actually kind of take some time to deal with what's on those papers? Or are you just moving fast and then you just kind of
Well, he has a eidetic memory and lightning calculator, so he can read them as fast as he can turn the pages.
sure.
So if there's something that's important, he would know it right now.
Yeah. So you would just see on
I
some of
think you
those.
need speed reading for that to
Well,
read
read the rules,
fast.
then you know.
Yeah. So you look at some of those papers and you would see different named individuals. No names ring out. But they have like lettered experiment, A256, A742. They have like different, numbered patients. And you would even see the types of experiments that they were trying to accomplish. And they were, trying to mutate. So the nanites, you wouldn't see anything about nanites on those pages, but you would see stuff about mutations. And they're like the typical, strong strength, healing. They're trying to imbue people with.
Superpower.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they aren't calling it superpower. They're calling it wellness. But yeah, that's.
Well, from the scientific point of view,
Well, to
Secker could
from
almost
the
agree with
Kellogg
that,
point of view.
seeing that healing ability would be wellness if it could be used for people who are ill.
Yeah, yeah. So they're not calling it a supers program. They're calling it a wellness program. And it's got the NexHuman, or excuse me, Nex. I leave off the T. NexHuman logo, professional documents, very, scientific. They're taking records, they're taking notes. How did this person die? The mutation was too strong. Their central nervous system overacted.
Any reference to the doctor in charge or the people in charge, or just NexHuman?
That's a good question. I'll answer this one. Then I'm going to go to the next person. So all of the pronouncements of death and kind of the review, the cause, and the next, what would be the next actions, all that stuff. That is all being signed off on by a person named Benjamin Webb. Like you can see his printed name and his signature. And then on the left hand, so it's two signs off. Person on the left, Benjamin Webb. Person on the right, Katie Everett. And they both have titles kind of beneath it. So it's like, a formal document. Benjamin is the head of the genetics program, and Katie is the head of the research and development program. They're both signing off on all these autopsies. I will move down the line to Cypher if you want to think on your next action when I come back to you. So, Cypher, do you mind bringing everybody up to speed on where you are, what you're doing, and taking action? Are you on mute right now, Cypher? Cypher, are you there? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Has he been hit by a smooth criminal?
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you went there with it.
Yep.
Maybe AFK.
Yeah. Cypher, are you there? We'll give one more chance. If not, we'll move down the line. Oh, man. WindWalker and Beast, you guys are having, like, connect and disconnect problems all over the place.
Yes, definitely. That was the most optimistic one, but it didn't take.
Wonder if it's zones again, AWS zones, because it's only affecting some people. Okay, well, as long as Cypher is not able to speak, we will move down the line and go to Nemesis. He disconnected. He probably lost his connection. Nemesis, you would be. I think I placed you in the second.
Up to the second level.
Yeah. Do you want to take some actions? Tell us what you're doing, what you're thinking.
She's going to turn on her bright sunlight. She's glowing. Pretty much everybody has a -1 characteristic roll when they look directly at her.
Okay, so she's glowing. So was that so that's for seeing purposes?
She's looking around on the second floor.
Okay.
Right now, she'll go. And she'll hit the. She'll come into this room here and take a look around.
Yeah, door's not locked. But taking a look around, why don't you make a perception roll? Let's see if I can give you some general read of the room, which you can see. I'll also just allow you to ask questions about what's in the room. I kind of want to add that to the, since there is stuff in the room, you could just ask about the stuff in the room, but I'll give you some general read as well.
I guess look at the 2 bookcases and see what kind of books are in them.
Yeah, okay. So lots of records, actually not a lot of books. Paperwork, journals, things like that. Yeah, and this is an office, but it's obviously not an office of a person that's doing a lot of work. This is like a person. Are
the journals numbered or dated?
Yeah, they actually have names on them. They're journals of individuals who've been at apparently at this place, this asylum. And you made your perception roll by 1. On the backs of the journals, like on the back corner of them, small print, are lettered, are numbers, but lettered. So like A to 72, that kind of thing. And they just go on and on and on. Just, those little college rule notebooks, black cover, just right. Full of them.
She'll pick last one furthest to the left and low, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully, she's hoping that's the last one, and we'll pull it out and look at it, read it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
so
in English.
This is
do I need to switch tongues?
Yeah, it is in English. This is A122. And the person's name was Sylvia, and the notes are like a progressive. You can see that she was angry in the beginning. She was writing about feeling captive, having been taken from her neighborhood, and being angry because she misses her family. She was a young girl. You could tell by the writing she was young. And she talks about hating the medicines and the way she feels here, in that she gets shots every day, and she's sad that her parents aren't, no one's coming to get her. She would have expected the police to come and try to find her. She's, you can just kind of go see the stages of grief in her writing. And maybe like 20 or 30 pages in, 20 or 30 days in, she says, "I caught the table on fire today."
Right.
And you can tell that she's angry, but she's also kind of like, like any teen would be if they got superpowers. She's mad, but she's like, "I can burn things now."
All right. Put the book back.
Okay.
And then.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now. We disconnected for a bit.
Well, I lost connection, so I've opened Discord on my iPad.
Okay.
So that's how I'm talking to you, and then I noticed after I did that I was disconnected from TTS. So that was great.
So right now we are we're with Nemesis, picking him up as picking her up as she's reading through some of these journals. Nemesis, I'll give you a one more action, and then maybe if you want to, like, one more just examining, and then any other thing, conclusion, synthesis you want to try to do.
Same shelf all the way to the right. First one.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, all the way to the left. First one.
Okay.
Bottom shelf.
This one, a similar type of approach. It was obviously a younger boy. Joseph is the name. Lettered A47. This is the book. The pages look a little bit more weathered, just older paper. Similar type of story. I won't go into all the details, but captured, stages of grief. He writes about people, his new friends. You see he's using this, like, "I made new friends today. New friends are helping me out here. It's really glad to have some new friends." He just keeps using that phrase over and over again. And, somewhere along the line of the journal, he, like...
Never identifies them?
Say again?
He never identifies the friends?
Nope, he just uses the word "new friends" a lot. And like maybe halfway through the journal, he develops claws that protrude from his skin.
All right. She'll get onto the radio. It's like, I'm finding a bunch of journals here of the kids and whoever that they've captured. It looks over time that they give them some kind of abilities, and then they develop new friends, never naming them. I'm figuring that's basically when they put them under some kind of control.
Okay, anybody want to talk through that at all?
Nope.
Nobody interested in that? Okay, Nemesis, you've obviously kind of picked up on what's going on in there. This office is the CEO's office, and you would know that this is on like the nameplate on the outside of the wall. Armond Nichols was the person whose this office was. He's not here right now, obviously. If he was, he evacuated, but it's, Armond Nichols, CEO, Next Gen Corporation.
Does it look like there's a computer in here?
No, it doesn't. This is, I guess he's just not that type of CEO where he's actually doing stuff.
Or he's just running around with a desktop or with a laptop so he can take it with him easy.
Yeah, maybe like even a mobile. Who knows? Who knows?
All right. Well, once
CEOs don't know how to use computers.
No, so I got disconnected. That means everybody's going to be disconnected now.
Oh, lovely.
Yay!
Yay for...
Well, since we weren't planning combat, maybe we should forgo TTS entirely tonight.
well, no. Well, probably
Okay.
well, TTS doesn't have the advantage of giving us die rolls.
Yeah, I'm going to get back in.
Yeah,
And
that's the point.
There's
Okay.
a whole lot of like things on the table that will help you make your decisions about what you
Visual
want to
of it, yeah.
do. Yeah.
Okay. So, at the risk of becoming bored in character, I'm going to scan all the paperwork everybody else is looking at. That maybe just some part that somebody else is finished with or haven't gotten to yet, and just scan for any mentions of actual old metas. The ones before they disappeared.
Yeah, so what room are you looking at and where are you going?
That's a good question. Where am I?
Yeah, so right now you're in the hallway on the first floor with hold on a second, I'm doing two things at once. You're on the hallway of the first floor with Cypher and Ghost and yourself. And you all are actually quickly being confronted by a person running down the hallway. So you all are going to have to make a decision about how you want to interact with that person or not. You're about to come your way. So obviously you want to be looking for things, but there's a enormous person lumbering in your direction.
He's enormous.
Enormous. It all disconnected. I had to restart the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, he has got the room back up.
Yeah.
Okay. The enormous guy is the one I warned you about. Sandcrab warned you about.
And I'm still loading, so for folks that just want to wait a little bit while my table loads, it's probably going to be safer that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give it a minute. But yeah, that's probably something good. Like I'm giving you all orders of time to be able to talk through things. But the folks that are on the first floor, you all have kind of an action decision to make. Ghost, Cypher, and WindWalker. What do you want to do with this guy that's coming at your direction? Ghost, you're at the...
Does he look like a mutant?
Oh yes, he's enormous.
Well, when you say enormous, are we talking 9 or 10 feet tall, or
yeah, it fills the whole hallway. Yeah. He just barely fits in the hallway. He must have had to walked up sideways the stairs.
Okay. Let's see. Well, since I have the advantage of teleportation, I am actually going to try and look daring and get in his way and actually put my hand up like a cop trying to get somebody to stop.
So you are going to teleport in front of a running giant and...
No. You said he was coming for us.
No. He is running up the hallway, running up the stairs.
Toward us.
Yeah, running in your direction.
Yes. Okay. So I am going to step in his path and put my hand up, like stop, and be ready to teleport if he looks like he's about to bowl me over.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me, I think I am loaded up now. So everybody that wants to come up definitely can.
Okay. Relaunching Steam.
And I don't know if y'all want to see... Oh, I guess you can't because I'm not streaming to the chat. But when you run up to him, I guess you're going to put yourself halfway between him or something like that and everybody else. He's going to skid to a halt in a booming voice. He's going to say, "Get out of my way. What are you doing here?"
Sorry, I'm with the inspection corps, and we just want to know exactly what's happened here and what you can tell us.
You're no inspection corps. I can tell by your outfits. Quit BSing me. What are you doing here?
Okay, so no core, but the rest is on us. I want to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta get out of here. This is a crazy place. I don't.
Do tell.
He's like, is this not time for tea and coffee? I gotta get out of here. We could talk later. I don't mind telling you what's going on, but get out of my way.
Okay, so what's the danger?
This is all a farce. This company is they're no good. They steal us and they experiment on us and like he's angry, huffing, and he's enormous.
This is an escaping prisoner.
Say again.
This is an escaping prisoner.
Yeah, I got that. Would you like to help us get these people to pay for what they've done?
Oh, he shudders and he's like, "There's no way they can pay back what they've done to me. There's no way they can pay it back." Okay, give me a break while I need to choose my color, assign people's characters. Everybody think through your next action. I'm gonna go down the order. So, Sand.
Yeah, I can't assign my own color yet.
Okay, I have the best view I have had yet. Okay.
Quit staring at Nemesis's butt.
Okay, and finally I see exactly how big this guy is.
Little baby.
That's like me when I wake up on Monday morning.
Yeah.
6 a.m.
Yeah, I do want to apologize for my grandson Theo. He's spectating, as well as generally not having a good evening.
The last thing I did was
He made 7 months yesterday on Earth.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, it was a burp. Very good one. Got another one there?
I'm having to add Faust back because of that was the last thing that I did. Okay, Faust.
Alright. I'm going to AFK a moment.
Okay. I'm having some fun trying to type in the I'm trying to get Faust's character and it's just not happy about it at all. Oh my goodness. Let's see if that works. Okay, Faust. WindWalker 2. That will get everybody going soon enough. Now I've got to get all of Cypher's back in. Urgh. Sorry for everybody watching. This is part of the fun with Steam. Okay, so we will get Stevie. And we will get Cypher. And then we will get, I have Fleetwood. Who am I? Wait, Odd Thing. And then, who is number 9? Ghost. Okay, so I'm going to start getting everybody loaded back up. It's always a good tutorial, let everybody see how this works while we're having to do it, might as well show.
Do some teaching at the same time.
Yeah, I know. It's actually pretty easy to load things in. Luckily. You see, I just click on them. WindWalker, what color are you? Pink? Faust is orange. Luckily, we've got some pretty solidly established color orders nowadays. After the fight for green is always answered.
Green is mine.
So we leave it. We leave it for you. Well, okay. Now that we're back, so we've already gone through Sandcrab and Nemesis. WindWalker, you've had a bit of a frightful see of this person and how enormous they are. I'm gonna kind of go down that path a little bit more since that is unfolding right now. So Cypher, we went to you first, or after Sandcrab, because you had been doing some disabling of security systems. So do you want to kind of tell everybody what you had been doing, and then maybe make your action as far as this enormous person that's lumbering down the hallway?
Sure. So, I had sent in the Fleetwoods, Lindsay, Christine, and John, and got them to spy out where the cameras were on this level, and we've disabled all of those. And so I was trying to decide whether we were going to be going up or down to see which cameras I would be going after next. I did also determine that the main camera room is up on the second floor. So when I see WindWalker kind of step into the path of this big guy, I'm kind of going, oh, that was not a wise decision. And so I bring Stevie up, and I have Stevie kind of do a circle around so that he can, if the guy goes to attack, Stevie will attack first, hopefully, and give WindWalker a chance to get away if that should come to it.
So Stevie, how close is Stevie going to get to the guy? And can you put
he's
Stevie?
He's a ranged attacker, so probably I'd say 4 meters.
Okay, we go ahead and place him there, and he's pretty small, so the guy's not going to see Stevie. Oh no, Stevie's not small, is he?
He's about 2 feet tall.
He's not your minuscule ones, though.
No, that's the Fleetwoods.
Yeah. So as you bring the Stevie around, the enormous dude is like, "What are you doing? Bringing your robots after me? Is this like their own robots that try to control us? Keep them away! Keep your robots away!" He starts screaming and flailing. Obviously, I can't make him flail right now. I'll kill him!
Any chance that I hear any of this from where I'm at?
Oh yeah. You are just a floor above, and this whole area down to this is open. So where you all are at, looking down from the tower that you're at, this whole area is open down, and you see this statue that's here, and you would hear all this, and he's screaming. He's got a booming voice, and he's angry.
I will have Stevie back off another 4 meters so that he would still be able to attack without any minuses.
Okay, so you brought Stevie into this, and anything else that you're going to want to do. He's stopped his run, and actually he would have come a little further up and stopped at in front of Wilding.
Do you have Cypher on here somewhere?
Yep.
Oh, he's hiding. Okay.
He's
I
flat.
couldn't see him because of the...
This is Flat Stanley.
Yeah.
Okay, so anything
Okay,
else?
my character is going to yell or say over the comms. Excuse me, not yell. What is going on down there?
We have encountered a large man. Excuse me, large man.
What?
Do you have a name?
So it's like, yeah, hi, I'm WindWalker. How's you?
He is clearly a prisoner trying to escape.
Yes, and
If
we're
we are
trying to make
interfering with his
nice.
trying to escape, he's going to assume we are the bad guys.
Then tell him you're not. Identify yourselves.
As I just did.
As hold on, you identified yourself as the cleaning crew. What was your fake lie to him that he saw through?
Maintenance crew or something?
Yeah, I forget what it was.
What going on?
Okay, so he doesn't have a whole lot of patience. Wild Thing, you ask them what's going on. Are you going to jump down in there and get in the fray, or what are you going to do?
Yeah. I'm gonna land.
Okay, so you can land even down here, right? Just like this would be where your character would land. You could land wherever you want to, really, but I'm just trying to say from the spot you're at, you could get anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna land straight down.
Okay, cool. I'm going to pick up Ghost, since you're down in the same corridor. What would you like to do? You're round in this corner.
Ghost will advance into the hallway, but not towards the big guy. So he can clearly see her, and she will simply point to the exit.
Okay. So you're just like, beep, 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 point that way.
I lost.
I'm going to casually turn and go, hey, Cypher, do you know any good safe spots for this guy?
Good
Safe.
safe spots.
Yeah.
There's a nice office up here you could sit and relax in.
No,
I'm
I'd
assuming-
rather be out of the building.
I'm here, right? You said?
Where?
Yeah, I
just-
see you now on the other side of the statue.
Yeah. You can. That's where you could jump down. You could jump down anywhere, but yes, you're now on the first floor. Okay.
So there are a bunch of us here, as you can see, Mr. Big Guy.
Is communicative?
So perhaps well, we're just trying to figure out what's going on. We kind of came across this place because of another thing that we were involved with. And so we're just kind of looking to see, we saw a whole bunch of people, mercenaries being attacked, and a whole bunch of other scientist types running away. And so we came in to see what they were running from. Were they running from you?
He said they should be, but I'm getting away myself like that. And he said, you saw the mercenaries, the mercs. Did any of them make it out alive? Or are they all dead? I hope they're all.
They're bloodstains.
He said those guys are scum. Those guys are terrible.
Agreed. I agree. We were just wondering, are those the only guys you were running from?
He says, man, there is so much about this place y'all don't even know. He said, I was. He's
We want to know.
Yeah, he's kind of calming. He's kind of calming down a little bit, you know. And he says, I was running from, and he's like, I don't even know what they are. These eyeless, faceless drone robots that were keeping me captive, and somehow I was able to get out, and I just know I've got to get out of this place. He said that there's only been 3 times they've taken me out of that prison, and I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just the good Lord is just watching out for me, and I was able to break free this time. I don't know what's going on. Things were shaking. Everything was falling apart, and I made it out. I got to get out of here.
What is your name?
Oh man, he said, I don't know, it's been so long since somebody's called me my name. He said that the people here call me Blue Wave, but my real name is Robert.
Do you have a last name, Robert?
Yeah. His last name is Richards. I just made that up. Robert Richards. Not a very good last name, but yeah.
It's
Very
good enough.
comic book. Very good.
Yeah, Robert. Forgive me if anybody is listening or on this game. His last name is Richards, but Robert Richards, alliteration is.
Nemesis will look it up in the journals.
It is nice to meet you, Robert Richards. I tap out a signal to Socrates to look up that name. Where did you come from, Robert? Where did they take you from?
Yeah. So he'll give kind of a soliloquy, and I'm going to answer the question to Nemesis. Nemesis, when you go and look through the journals, they will go back. That's awesome. Game Night is handling the Socrates database search right now. I don't know if y'all are seeing that in the chat. He's doing a
Awesome.
full database search. Yeah, really cool. He will start to tell a story about a neighborhood that he grew up in, and it's not that great a neighborhood, but everybody made it by, and everybody helped each other out. And he starts describing some of the places and the things, and maybe the enough of y'all are close enough, and even Faust, you're up in the air, so you hear this. This sounds like the neighborhood that you know, Faust. The neighborhood where the kid was kidnapped, the neighborhood where you'd set up shop after you had kind of made your escape. That's the same neighborhood. You know it.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm listening through this via comms, and I would let the WindWalker know to ask him if he knew both of the children that I know were kidnapped.
Yeah, he refers to them as.
I can definitely relay that.
Yeah, and you're not far away, Faust. You're flying right above this sculpture. It is,
Okay, I see where it is. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to get down here and actually have that conversation, you can. I mean, I've made a little invisible plane for you to fly on, but you're not locked. You can just take yourself down. Yeah. So, if you ask that question of him, do you know so-and-so, and you know the little girl, you know the little boy, he'll refer to them with familiar names like little Jimmy and little Cindy. I don't know what you had them named, but he'll say that the last time I saw them in the neighborhood, they were 6 and 7 years old. I don't know how old are they now? How are they? Have you seen them? Have you seen their mom? Like he's got kind of a smile on his face, but what was one Adam, little Adam? Like, have you seen little Adam? How's Adam?
Oh, they're doing well. They're doing well. Unfortunately, they also had a run-in with these Gen X people. I like you, was also modified by some government program. I don't know whether these guys are tied to the government or not, but that's what we're trying to investigate here. We were on our way to this facility to investigate what was going on here, because obviously there's something nefarious going on, and we wanted to break it up. And apparently there was a break or something. So any information that you can tell us, Robert, would be great. By the way, do I recognize the name? Did I know this guy?
Yeah. I mean, he was like a friendly dude, but you hadn't seen him, so it might have been from like just stories. Like,
okay.
Because when you were there, he wasn't. And he said it might be he was even 6 or 7 years been here. He can't really tell how long he's been in that prison.
Do you know how you got here? How did they recruit you? Did they kidnap you?
They kidnapped me off the streets. They put their handcuffed me behind the backs. It was just like the police. It was like the police got me here. And he's just so mad. He's like, but it didn't look like any police I had known. We knew our neighborhood cops. They were good people. So these had to be some outsiders. but they came up in cars that were unmarked and they got me in here and and he can't explain. It was just like, it was in the broad daylight. And he said, little Adam is okay.
Bastards.
He said little Adam was okay, but they were being targeted just like these. I know what happens whenever they get in trouble with NexHuman. Tell me little Adam's okay. Tell me he's okay.
He's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, he's gonna make a intelligence roll, and you need to make like a. You have any kind of lying roll or something that will.
Well, I have a professional skill as a covert field agent, but I don't necessarily have anything that will allow me to lie specifically.
Charm.
Acting.
You have charm.
Well, yeah, but I'm not. I guess, but I'm not really trying to charm him. I'm lying to him.
Oh,
right?
but even conversation. You got all kinds of good skills for this, man.
All right, so I'll use if I can use either charm or conversation.
I think it would be conversation more than charm.
Yeah. You're just trying to like lead the conversation away.
Yeah, this guy's distressed enough, so I don't want to tell him.
Yeah.
But Adam?
Yeah.
that Adam died. So I don't want to freak him out even more. So I'm trying to do that. So any minuses or anything, or just roll it straight.
No, there's going to be some minuses. He's already suspicious of NexHuman. You mentioned them, and so it's just something that he's dubious. So I would say probably a -2 to it.
First thing I'm going to do is roll my hero points.
Yeah, you didn't have some from last time, so yes, roll hero points.
Well, actually, no, I have my 7 left over from the first game.
Yeah. So just use your 7.
Yeah.
Use your 7.
All right. So yeah, I'll use my 7, and here we go at -2. I failed by 1, and I will spend a hero point to succeed.
Is that a success?
Yeah. So do you want to talk it out again? Maybe just kind of role play out what you say and how you kind of navigate the conversation. We'll see.
Yeah, I sort of lower my and I say, these guys were after Adam, and we intervened, and don't worry about him. He's good. As a matter of fact,
Cypher thinks to himself, good and smeared.
Well, he's. I'm thinking to myself, well, he's in heaven. He's in a better place.
He's good.
Very good.
As a matter of fact, Robert, it was the NexHuman's attempt to get to Adam that led us here, to further investigate what they were doing. Obviously, some of their experiments went awry. Whether it was before or after they perfected their technology, these mutants that we had to fight that apparently broke out, freaked everybody out, is part of their failed experiment. Anything that you could tell us about that would be very helpful. Again, we're trying to get to the bottom of who are these people, where do they come from, how can we stop them?
Yeah, so I'll answer a little bit of that, and then I'm going to go on and give some other folks opportunity to do something. So he recounts a story, and Nemesis, this is kind of in the journal. So Nemesis, you look alphabetically down the journals. They're alphabetized, and you find this Robert Richards journal as well, and it kind of recounts the same thing that he told to Wild Thing, to the rest of the group, Wild Thing and Faust, that he got kidnapped off the streets, and no one ever came after him. No one was ever looking for him, and the thing that he writes in the journals, and the same thing he says to you, Faust, is the experimentations were working, and obviously they worked on him, right? And he had friends that he was making, and you see a lot of the new friends language in that journal with him as well. New friends, I've made new friends today, new friends. And then there are a couple of times where he names people. And he talks about the powers, like specific names of people that had powers. And then, a couple of weeks later, he never sees them again. And then a couple of weeks later, he makes another friend and somebody that he really liked, and then never sees them again. So, and then the journals go to new friends, and then there's an abrupt stop in the journal. So that's all that's in the journal. It kind of stops abruptly. And
I would like to ask Robert of those two things real quick, and then you can go on and you can answer it later. Is one, how come they kept him around for so long? And two, I mentioned that we ran across someone called, or at least who was identified as prisoner. What was it? 041 or something like that.
241.
Yeah. With sonic powers, if he knew who he was, had he met him here.
Yeah. So you say prisoner 241? Is that what you asked him about? You see him get really, really angry and really starts to shake. And
he's not here. You are safe.
Yeah, and he will say, I'm not scared of 241. 241 used to be called so and so. I used to know him. He and I were not friends, but I know who he is. And he was a little scrawny thing, and they shot him up with who knows what they shot him up, and he turned into something terrible, and they loved him for it. They loved 241. He even took their name for him. We used to call him so and so, and now we just a terrible, not even a human anymore.
Why did they keep you around?
In prison?
Would they?
Yeah, they kept me in prison, man.
But did they ever? Okay, so they kept you around longer than others, right? They assigned others to some tasks, apparently.
They pump you up full of stuff, and they shoot you, and they see what they can make you be, and then they draw your blood, and they mix it with other people, and they make the creations, and half the time we hear the screams, we hear the grotesque things that happen, and who knows what I got in me, and who knows what types of.
One last question, Robert. Did you have powers before they captured you, or because you obviously have powers now?
Yeah, I didn't have powers before. I was just minding my own business, and they injected me with something, and it just took me over. And he says, you want to see what I can do? You want to see what they made me?
As long as you don't hurt anyone, sure.
He says, little lady, you need to back up. You need to back up. He's talking to
I'm already backing up.
Yeah. Wild Thing, you want to back up as well, everybody? Because he's kind of looking around sheepishly at everybody. He says, "This is what they made me, and I don't even know what I am." And then he just bursts into water, and you can see he is not. You can still see the shape that he is, but he's also swirling in water and just water all around him.
Very cool image.
Yeah.
So this is.
So listen, Robert, I know you want to get out of here, but there's probably safety in numbers. All of us have tackled these guys before. Stick with us for now. Don't run out there. We don't know if they're going to send reinforcements. For the moment, just stick with us, and we will help protect you and us as there's safety in numbers.
He says, "Why are you all even here? Like, why? I've been running for people like you all. What makes you all the good guys? Everybody in here is terrible."
Well, we're not going to experiment on anyone. We actually want to find out if there are any more facilities like this so that we can try to stop them from doing this to you or anyone else again.
He says, "That all sounds great. That all sounds good. But what makes you able to take them on? What makes you all so special?"
We have powers just like you.
What makes us special is we are willing to do the right thing, she says.
Yeah.
So for instance, I can do this, and I just bring the mind sword up in my hand, And it's like, but frankly, and I point with the mentor, I think yours is cooler.
He's like, what it cost me, and he just trails off. Like,
I get it, Robert. It cost me as well. I was normal just before they took me in as well.
She walks up to him. That obviously without any fear, because that's not her thing. You are who you've always been. That form that you hold now is just an addition. Who you were before they took you. Who you were when you were born and who you were when you were growing up. Don't look at that and think that makes you less you. That will never happen.
ah, bravo! That's awesome. He you can see him calm down a little bit, and he returns to form, and he says, "You guys are really trying to do the right thing here." He says, I don't know who you are, but if you're trying to take these people down, I want to take them down too, and y'all are gonna need as much help as you can get."
She holds out her hand.
Yeah, he'll hold out his hand, and his whole arm is, his hand is bigger than your whole arm, and he
She'll
puts his hand.
shake a figure.
Yeah. Okay, so the two of you all shake hands, and he looks at you.
You can call me Nothing.
Yeah, he says, "Wild Thing, I appreciate what you said." He looks at Faust, and he says, "Faust, we come from the same place, man." And he said, I have a lot of catching up to do. And he said, "I'm going to need your help with that, if you know what I mean."
I'll do what I can.
Okay, he says, he says, "First, we're gonna have to go take care of some of the people that are still trapped. And there are still good people down there trapped in the prison, and I don't know how to get there, and I don't know how I got out of there, but I'm not the only one that's been taken like this. So I'm gonna cut scene to the next folks. I'm sorry we've spent a lot of time on this one. I'll come back to it for sure, but keep your next things, please." So Ghost, I'm gonna come back. Sandcrab, you started us off at the beginning. Am I skipping anybody that I shouldn't be skipping? I don't mean to leave anybody.
Beast hasn't had much to say.
I think Beast has done the journals and investigated the ones there, and went after Sandcrab. I'll come back to Beast right after. I'll come back to Nemesis after I get to Sandcrab. Sandcrab, you would have heard a lot of this on the comms, and of course you would have seen a lot of it in your spatial awareness. Do you want to take any actions or do anything specific right now?
Well, if I haven't found any other clues in this room, I did want to head to the computer room to see if I could get anything there.
Which computer room are you referring to?
You said there was a mainframe.
Not down there. The mainframes are upstairs.
Yeah, so there's a security room. There's a console down here on this kind of experimentation chamber. And then, of course, this kind of portal room that you see in your spatial awareness. You want to come back upstairs to the secure comms room, or what specifically?
No, I'll finish down here first.
Okay.
If I feel like there's nothing else in this room, I'll go to this room right here and examine it and look for clues in it.
Yeah. So you definitely see even a mutant that is in the room. You can tell that the earthquakes that were happening shook this experimentation chamber and probably took the life of this person that was all connected up to it. You can see that the experimentation chamber stopped when their vitals were as they read on the thing, and I forget what do they read at right now. I don't know if you can see it actually.
Oh, the little control panel there on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their person was alive, but just recently you can tell this thing, because it's like smoking and stuff like that.
Just recently passed away.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And obviously,
So there's probably not much in that room then besides the experimentation booth or the mutating booth. It's probably being controlled from another room.
no, this right here is the control panel on the side of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'll check it out and see if I can get any data out of it.
Yeah. You want to make maybe an appropriate skill roll for it?
Sure. Sandcrab will have a cable come out of his arm, and it looks like a holographic cable, and have it plug into the console, and then he'll make a security systems and a computer, or have a systems operations roll against it.
Okay, that sounds cool. Oh gosh, what a good roll. Yeah, so you fully understand how this operation works, what they do in this chamber. You would know also that there is a connection back to the secure comm room, but it's firewalled so intensely that you can't really get back to it, right? It's you see that there is an IP address that leads back up there, and there's information that's even coming in back and forth, like monitorings and readings, but it's all encrypted and hashed, so you're not able to get to it, and it's even with your cryptography, it's pretty complicated. Nonetheless, in this chamber itself, you can see that it's kind of a dual thing. Two focuses. One, mutations, where it's entering mutations into the people. And there's like injections into the thing, and there's like a whole control panel around entering mutations and how do they get activated. And there's a separate control panel that's about nanites, and it's not used, particularly it's not used on this person. So it's like there were two programs, one mutagens, and then there was another one when they decided to do nanites in some creatures. They used them, but they were not using them on this person. And there are no nanites in the kind of the injectors right now.
No. And the other panel?
Say again?
And the other panel is that what's that for?
The other panel. So yeah, there was the two. One for mutagens, one for nanites. Two panels.
Gotcha.
And the panel for nanites is not being used right now. There's nothing in them. So it's just not a given that nanites get put in every mutant.
Gotcha. All right. Seems like it's pretty obvious what's going on right here. This experimentation room, and some poor guy got experimented on, and now he's dead. I'll go to the next room if I still have time.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so when you walk into this room, there's definitely like an energy that's coming out of this portal. And it looks like, obviously, the portal does not belong here, right? This is it's almost like hospital-style room. But there is a green stone portal that is open and glimmering. Actually, I think you can see it glimmering.
Yes, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, cool. So,
all right.
Yeah, the green glow is evident from over here.
Cool. Yeah, so
Probably
it's
where the prisoners are being stored.
Yeah, and it's doesn't take even an intelligence roll to know this portal is open.
Yeah, it looks like it. And on the table is what?
A keyboard, and that's it. There's not a monitor, but there is a keyboard.
Okay. And the keyboard is wireless?
Yeah, it is Bluetooth connected, but I think you can tell even on this. Can you tell the spectrum? It's on.
No.
But you can tell it's on, right? It's got like a little blue light. It's on.
Right. This would definitely be something on Cypher's level of expertise. So Sandcrab will radio to Cypher. Cypher, there's some strange looking portal down here and a keyboard that may control it. I'm not sure if anything's going to come through, but there's always that possibility. If you have time, maybe you could help out down here.
Do you think that the fellow we've been talking to came from there?
What fellow are you talking to? Oh, the enormous man?
Yes.
Um,
Like the room that you're in, is the door been broken open or anything like that?
No, none of the doors down here seem broken open, and I haven't seen any holding cells or anything like that. I've seen just a laboratory is down here, but no cells.
Okay. I'm gonna look over at Robert. Robert, they call me Cypher, and I like to interface with computers. How did you get onto this level? You came up the stairs just behind you there?
Yeah, and he says these stairs take you down to the basement, and right as soon as you go around the basement, there's a room, and it's like out of nowhere. It's like a portal that leads you to some prison. I don't know a better way to say it. It's like, but you got to go through the gates of hell to get to the prison.
And that's where you came from.
That's where I've been for the last, I guess, 6 years.
Okay. Sandcrab, I believe that will lead us to where other people could be trapped. But before we go through there, we're not sure whether we'd be able to come back and forth. So maybe we want to continue. There is a control room up here, a server room. We might have more answers from there before we attempt that portal thing. Hello?
Yeah, yep. I heard you. I don't know if everybody else heard you, but
Sorry about that. Sandcrab will say, "Okay, that sounds good. I'll stand guard here in case anybody else comes through, and see what else I can find." Sandcrab will examine this chest over here and see if there's anything interesting in it.
ooh, hold on a second. Which chest are we talking about?
The one next to the portal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when you look in it, there are like general tools. Nothing scientific. It's almost like hammers and repair equipment. Even some keys.
Are they crude tools or advanced tools?
Advanced tools. Yeah, they're like hammers and saws, and it's like hardware equipment, stuff like that.
That's not advanced. That's just crude tools, right? Just like
when you were saying crude, I was thinking like caveman crude.
No. I meant like like normal.
Yeah. These are just like hand tools. Yeah, hand tools.
All right. So meaningless.
Yes. The next time I work in the shop, I'm gonna be using crude tools. That's awesome.
By the way, if it's okay with everyone else, I would like to volunteer to go to that portal first to make sure that we can go back and forth while we search for some control to activate that.
Be my guest.
I was going to suggest that I send one of the Fleetwoods through.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It would be better.
Well, that's not very heroic, but fine.
Oh, you were willing to sacrifice
It's
yourself.
smarter.
But the portal's open, Faust. Where's the risk? There's no. It's open.
Yes, true. And rubber did come out, but just in case, no, I think sending in the Fleetwoods is a better idea.
Okay. So you see these crude hand tools. They're just saws, screwdrivers. There's a key ring with lots of keys on it. Things like that. Just kind of, tools.
Yeah, I'll take the key ring.
Okay, cool.
Keys can always be handy.
Yeah. Nothing curious about the keys. It's just like
Not that I couldn't pick most locks anyway, but still.
So, Clyde, just as an aside before, I would like to ask Socrates what if he can pull up any information on the Karl Heinz Museum and to see how this seems to have been something else before.
Yes.
So I'll just leave that in the background because I know you got to get to other people. But I caught that and I was wondering if there's any records of sale or who caught how it was changed or anything like that.
Yeah, let me see if I can get to it so that everybody else can see exactly what you're referring to. But on this sculpture,
Of Ghost.
Yeah, right here. I'm trying to get to it. The beginning. This is the Karl Heinz Asylum, and it's, or at least it's, at one point in time, it was the Karl Heinz Asylum, and Socrates will pipe up and give like this real quick explanation that the Karl Heinz is a storied psychologist who started one of the asylums on the outskirts of Millennium City, or Detroit when it was Detroit, and then it was defunct for a period of time. It was sold at auction and then purchased for pennies on the dollar to buy a subsidiary that rolls up to NexGen or NexHuman genetics, and so it was an asylum run by this storied psychologist, but it was non-functional for quite some time.
Okay, but we don't get any potential names that we could follow up on how the property was transferred or anything like that that could be useful.
Yeah, definitely could.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole paper trail or digital trail, and I mean even Socrates would tell you the finance director of this place is called Byron Farmer. He's their accounting head, investor relations. So like he runs through the person that was the secretary of the corporation that made the purchase is B Farmer, and then he goes down a rundown of Mr. Farmer being a self-made business management professional, well known, clean, above board type of person, no negative regulatory filings, that kind of thing. Byron Farmer.
Human experimentation citations against
not against Mr. Farmer. There's not. NexGen was a positive. You all saw their commercials, even, right? A better tomorrow now. It's a positive organization. Nemesis, what would you like to take an action? You've been reading through these journals. Anything that you would want to do?
She'll take the names that she's gotten a hold of, and take those with her, and then she's going to go into that center larger room that's directly across from the opening leading down.
Okay. Center across the room, like in here where you're in with the
yeah, it looks like a
exam room.
Operating theater. Or,
Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Look through there, see what's in there. What's it look like?
Yeah. So this room is clearly an exam room. It, as I've been describing it with Sandcrab, he was seeing like grotesque things. This seems dirty and old, but it's not grotesque, right? You see on some of the chairs and the floors scorch marks, scratch marks. It's like maybe everything that's been going on that's been examined here, things have been happening, mutants have been observed here, but no bloody messes here.
Alright, she'll go over to the next.
Can I ask Nemesis something?
What?
So the journals that you found were patient journals, like patients were writing these journals, or are they more like? Say that again.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So in that room we didn't find anything of like maybe like doctors' journals that were making annotations on patients or anything like that. They're all apparently journals that were collected from. Okay. Okay.
Which probably means that somehow they were able to get their trust, so meaning that they're probably are under some kind of slight control. Anyway, she'll go to the next room.
Yep. Similar type of approach here. You see different types of markings that could tell definitely damage has happened in here. Like even grip marks on the kind of gurneys. You see one of the gurneys where it's not just a grip mark, but like hand prints where someone with some enormous strength has just bent the metal. So that obviously there's more observations happening in here. But nothing grotesque or bloody or gross. It's clean as best it can be for just a nasty old building.
All right, and then finally she'll end up in the, I guess the wing room.
Yeah, so like where there would be like people have stayed. I'm going to come back to you on this because there's going to be just different things around here that you'll find. But this is definitely where people had stayed, and as they were evacuating, people left a lot of things behind. So you're going to get a chance to kind of look through some of the people who might have recently been here, because it looks like people just up and left when the evacuation happened.
Okay.
I'll come back. Ghost, I haven't gotten a lot to you. Ghost, do you want to do some things in particular? You pointed to the exit early on. Anything that you would want to be doing?
Ghost's thinking is pretty simplistic still. She's still kind of new to the universe. The way she thinks is she moves pretty fast. She can cover a lot of territory very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
She also generally prefers to, if we're going to walk into danger, if we're going to discover danger, she's more comfortable being the first one to get attacked than having somebody else who probably can't take it as well as she can. Finally, she's learned from the rest of the group that opening doors is important. So what she'll do is she's just going to start flying through the entire area, opening every door and looking inside the room to see if there's something dangerous in the room. And once she's ascertained that there's nothing particularly dangerous in the room, she'll move to the next door, open that, look inside, and she will continue that until she's opened every door in the establishment.
So you're like just blazing through the rooms and doors. You on the bottom floor would have gone from room to room, and you will find not anybody in any of these rooms. Like you will have found in this room a kind of reception area where maybe someone was sitting just a few moments ago at a computer desk that's still on. You would find down here an office with somebody's desk and computer and papers and books. Things down there. There's even a nameplate on the door, but you're not really paying attention to that. You would come back over here. Even over here first, you would find like a movie still playing on the screen.
People left in a hurry.
Yeah. When you would come into this room over here, and the movie is still playing.
Yep.
You would stop for a moment. You would see that thing on the screen and just kind of look around, and you would see books all over the place, maybe even some games where maybe children were playing games on this kind of corner over here. This must have been like a recreation room, and I would say it probably, I don't know, maybe you tell us if it piques your interest of what this is even for your character.
Well, this is very curious to her because it's a cultural reference which she is sadly lacking. She's constantly stymied by the fact that she has no context for most of what's going on, and that really handicaps her. So she probably would stop dead and watch the screen for a moment, trying to figure out what's going on there. I don't think she's ever seen a screen before. And then she'd probably continue to investigate the other stuff. What are these, odd game-like objects? Books. I don't think she's seen books before. She starts leafing through them, trying to figure out what this stuff is. She'd probably settle on the children's books because they're heavily illustrated. And she can read the words, and the words correspond to the illustrations. And suddenly she has a eureka moment. This is a primer for context. So she's going to, at this point, probably stop whatever she was doing, and people won't see Ghost for a while until they call her.
So you mind bringing Ghost into this room over here and
Nice.
Good point.
Good role play.
Yeah, it is really cool. So there are a couple of things that happen when you walk into this room and you look over at this screen, this movie screen. And let me see if I can get a better image of it. So sorry for anybody who's trying to watch this on camera. It's a little herky-jerky. So you're looking at this screen over here, and it's some regular movie, right? And you wouldn't know this, Ghost, but it's a regular movie. And as the movie is playing, well, maybe make an intelligence roll. What is the appropriate kind of mental roll that you have?
I'm just going to roll perception. It's the same roll.
Mm-hmm. How'd you do? Yeah, okay, so you would see this. You would see it. As you're watching the movie, maybe every 15 or 30 seconds, there is a very fast image, black on white, that flashes into the screen. And it says in big, bold words, and it's not even a frame of the movie, but you see it because you observed so well. And the black on white words and read, "Trust your new friend." And it flashes, it's that's just, it goes away. And then, you're watching the movie for a few more seconds, and it's some rerun or some John Wayne movie or whatever it is, and you wouldn't understand any of that, step down off your horse references, but it's interesting, so you keep watching it, and then a couple of seconds later, another frame snaps up, and it is less than a frame second, and it says, "Heroes hurt the world." And then a few seconds later, Steam is disconnecting, and I'll get back up, but so that you all can see things. But those two messages keep popping up over and over again, and it's not having an effect on you. Or if you want it to, you can roleplay it that way. But you see those two messages: "Trust your new friend." "Heroes hurt the world."
Subliminal programming usually takes a very long time.
Yeah. I'm not saying it has an effect on you, and I don't even know that Ghost would know that it's subliminal or not. But you surely
Ghost
see it.
Would not, but she might mention it. It's a very odd thing.
Mm-hmm.
She, at a later date, she would mention the movie and try and figure out what that was that she was seeing, and she would then mention the words flashing to.
It's interesting that by saying heroes hurt the world, they acknowledge that they are villains. You'd think they'd simply switch the narrative around instead of using a phrasing like that.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to make a provocative statement.
What did Kevin do?
They need better marketing.
No, but we could bring Doctor Who into this. I kind of remember a little thing the doctor went and did. Basically got the silence to get everybody to kill him on sight.
Oh yeah.
So I am loading it back up, and I won't put people back in their colors or anything, but all your tokens will be where they're supposed to be. And if you the only real battle would have been if you all decided to fight against Robert Richards or Blue Wave.
Right.
You didn't, thankfully. Appreciate that. But I'm going to load this game, and let's...
let me know when it's safe to log in.
Yeah. So Ghost, you would see that. You would also find those books over there. There are books dedicated to children and teenagers. And you would notice that portions of the pages have been cut out and also pasted with similar words, phrases that you saw on that screen. So it's, again, it doesn't have any effect on you, but you would see the same type of black on white print, trust your new friend. And that's a lot in the books, from the children's books, you see it.
Well, that would be odd to her because the words wouldn't correspond to the images. So probably at a relatively early moment, she would query one of the other heroes to explain the discrepancy to her. At this point, she's probably got a pile of those children's books collected.
Yeah.
Looking for a box to keep them in or something.
Yeah, there's a little crate over there, actually. I think you could pick up the crate and keep the books.
Yeah. So anybody who sees her at this point will find her with a crate of books under her arm.
Very cool. The table is still loading, but I'll ask in general, any folks have a investigative line they want to follow up on before we come back to Sandcrab at the portal door. Everybody there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yep.
Well, what's been shared with us?
What do you mean, from what Ghost just observed, or anything in particular?
Yeah.
Ghost, what exactly did you share with the group about what you just saw?
Or more to the point, you could role play it.
Yeah, it's a little difficult for Ghost. She actually doesn't speak. So she can transmit through the microphones, but that's
Cool.
a little bit hard on my voice, truth be told.
Understood.
She would, at a certain point, because what I was describing before is going to take some time. Now, I can skip time and just pretend that like 20 or 30 minutes has gone by. But at a certain point, she would emerge from the room with that crate of books and try and get somebody's attention to answer some questions for her. And at that point, she would describe the odd flashing messages and how the words are repeated in the books, and these words don't match the context of the pictures. Somebody explain this odd discrepancy to Ghost so that she can understand.
Yeah, and I'll say a lot of that, before you all go down into this, room, to this portal room, you all have an opportunity to look all around. And honestly, before you go, Cypher, if you're wanting to make a chance at that secure comms room, you can as well. I think my table's loaded back if everybody wants to. Yeah, I'm loaded back up if everybody wants to join in.
Okay. I wanna. No, you're not showing, dude. Try again.
Oh look, green's available.
Oh my God.
You're not coming up for me. Oh, I know why. I have to close it out and open it up again.
I have to close down not just tabletop, but Steam as well to find me.
So Cypher, anything you want to do in that secure common room? You're on the first floor, but I'll give you 20-30 minutes of real time in this game where you could go up there and try to make a go at it.
Okay. Once I take it the door is locked.
Oh yes. It's just locked though. I mean, it's just.
I'm just calling up an electronic copy of my character so I can look at his skills.
Yeah, I'm about to have yours up too, so just a second. I'm sorry. It just took me a little bit to get there. Having to load 3 times in one game has not been fun.
Yeah, no kidding. I have security systems on a 13 or less, so I'm going to try to use that to get through the door.
Okay, so it's a -5 on the. Oh, just on the door. Like you're just trying to like break through the door. Yeah, I mean there's not a secure. Yes, there is, but it's not -5 on it. So just make your roll to get in the room.
There we go. I see the dice rolling.
Yeah, you succeeded.
I look at the door and it opens.
Yeah, so you can put yourself in this secure room up here.
I succeeded by 8.
The door was shuttered in your.
It saw me coming and it said, "Okay, we're open, we're open."
Okay.
Please don't hurt me, Mr. Cypher. Please don't hurt me.
So you're in the room.
Did you move me? Okay. No.
I have not.
Okay. So, take it there's still no peoples around?
No. This room is empty.
Okay. Interesting. Well, let's take a look at this here. So I'll do a quick survey of the room. Reaching out with my mind to start talking to the computers.
Okay, so the computers in this room are enormously more difficult to reach, to control. You can already tell it's almost like a field is in effect here. So are you going to try to target a computer or to do anything? If you do, it's a DCV of 10 or an MCV of 10 or whatever the combat value is. That's what you're targeting.
Okay.
Not impossible. Not impossible.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Okay, I think I've got everybody up again, finally. Yeah.
Now,
How did you do?
how do I specify OMCV instead of OCV?
So when you roll to hit,
When you in Rollmaker, it'll allow you to use your OMCV.
I wonder if even in dice rolls. Oh, you can't do it in dice rolls. It just goes to.
No, but you can do it in the Rollmaker to hit.
Yeah.
So I've got to create a new roll, basically. Okay.
Yeah, and just choose OMCV.
Or just roll. You can just use the dice roll along the table.
yeah. We wanted to do it for us. Yeah. So you are not able to lock onto these machines.
Well, that's very interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sit down at the chair and start doing some computer programming. See if I can figure out some ways around its security systems and stuff like that. Well, and over the comms I'll say, they've been talking to those other bad guys. I tell you, they're making computer things difficult to break into. Well, let's see what we can do here.
Okay, so you want to make a skill roll? This is going to be a -5 on the skill roll.
Nice.
Yeah. This is outstanding. So you start to travel down the computer. So this is natural hacking, right? You're not powered, you're skilling. What was this particular skill?
It was computer programming.
Yeah, so you start like hacking into the computer's source code, and you're trying to travel back and kind of scroll up and see what the different inputs to this room are, and what are you particularly looking for by chance?
Some type of reference I can find about that portal downstairs.
Okay, yeah, so you can see that the portal, is obviously is not normal, is not built by wasn't a part of the floor plans. It was moved in. It's connected by some weird tech that connects through Bluetooth. It's like magical Bluetooth connection. It's a Bluetooth version, whatever. It's a weird script, but you can definitely tell it's the keyboard that connects it, and you can even pick up on the script that you have to enter to turn on and turn off the portal. It's just hard coded in the script. Yeah.
I also have cryptography if that's of any help too. So.
Yeah, you want to roll a cryptography?
I don't know. That was a pretty good roll last time. I might not be so lucky.
-5. Yeah, haha, no.
Succeeded. Okay, so I succeeded by 2, but I could use hero points to make that I could use what 3 hero points.
Okay.
To make that a success. Yes.
Yeah. What are you looking for? Obviously, you're trying to break through encrypted records.
Yes, I'm trying to figure out. So this is some strange script stuff. Were there any computer-related things from the demon base that might be similar in architecture or anything like that?
Good point, but no, entirely different. You would think that, but there's no similarity here. Different portaling, different technology altogether.
Okay.
The portal takes you to a different dimension, though.
Whoa! That portal is out of this world, literally, guys.
Again.
So you've got a good cryptography roll. Anything else you want to kind of investigate here, since you're in and looking? Anybody?
What's it like? Is it LSD land?
I think
Now, what was the question? I'm sorry.
Cypher is plugged into the systems over here and having good rolls against hard targets. So is there?
Nice.
What do you want to look at, Cypher? Anything else?
So I'm going to instigate my. Now that I'm kind of in, so I've kind of got a back door. I'm going to try my telepathy.
Ha 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 ha. Okay. What are you going to try to accomplish with that? Make your roll, but.
Okay, so I have to make a to-hit roll?
Against a 10 combat value.
Okay.
Okay.
So I hit a DMCB of 6.
So, I don't know how many points you had. You just used 3. Are you gonna... That would take 4 more points to get there. Did you have that?
Okay, I think I had 7 points altogether, so that'll use up the last of my points.
Okay. How fortuitous.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Except
hit...
I don't have any more.
Yeah. So you hit... What type of mental attack are you going to use?
Telepathy.
Okay, what are you trying to gain?
I want to know, like, how is it, like, is this an artificial intelligence? Is that why it's so difficult to get information out of?
So what did you roll?
That's what I'm trying to determine, and I want to talk to the thing if I can. I rolled a 53. Holy crap, that's not bad.
That's a pretty good roll.
1 1 and 3 6s.
Okay, 25 minus that is What is the thing that you were trying to ask? Is it like an AI, or what is it? That's a pretty good role. So you can read into its memory.
So I'm wanting to do what I normally do with computers and just try to talk to it and start a conversation, see whether it responds to me, whether it responds with like a human or like the typical responses that I get from most computers. They're like binary.
Yeah, typical.
They're simple, but whether this is intelligent or not.
Yeah, typical responses. Not a AI. Well guarded, well defended. Someone's put a lot of effort into the firewall in here, and you're doing real well with the roles. And you start to have a conversation with it, right? Just like you would with regular computers. And
yes.
A familiar voice comes into your head, and it speaks.
Go away, algorithm. I don't want to talk to you.
I see you interfering here, Cypher, but I can't allow you access to these records. And the computer turns off entirely. And it is
really?
Algorithm's voice. The whole thing is powered down.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you.
It knew his name?
Algorithm did.
They've been computer buddies for a while now.
Yeah, they're very close nemesis.
So
he's part of my complications list. I'm sure of it.
Gotcha.
So this whole console is completely just shut down now. Okay.
Okay.
We have a few minutes left.
Can I fire it up again?
Oh no! It's not. It's, if anything, there's damage done. Like he is blocking you. He's going to actively. And maybe if you want to try to do some of that offline, you can. But Algorithm is going to actively prevent you from getting into this.
Why, you no good rotten son of a gun.
Okay, so we have a few minutes left. And I didn't mean to. Yeah, he flips over the table.
I flip over the table. That's what I do.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we have a few minutes left. You got.
That sounds like more of an algorithm thing. Okay.
You got the codes to open the portal, but you're not going to get anything else. And beyond that, did you communicate any of this to the group?
Oh yes.
Okay.
I also informed them that it looks like Algorithm has been here. My nemesis. Not you, Nemesis, but, Nemesis. My nemesis. Don't take it personally.
Okay, so with the last few minutes here, do you all want to send one of the bots through to the portal?
Sure.
That's Cypher. You willing to risk that?
Sure, I'll ask Christine if she wants to go.
Okay, Sandcrab, you're down there. You want to do anything with that?
Okay, you want to go with these instead?
Huh?
Okay.
I'm sorry. What was that wild thing?
Sorry, I meant to be mute.
Okay.
So.
In that case, no, I mean, there's nothing for me to do right now except for stand guard. I could try to hack that keyboard, but because there's no way of knowing what I'm hacking into, although I could try, I just think that Cypher is going to be better at it. I'm going to continue doing what I stated I'd do, which was guard. And, I can watch the rest of the house in case something happens. And I can also go over the data that I collected and see if I find anything interesting in it.
Okay.
So at this point, Ghost would have come out with their creative books and asked questions such that people would have learned that the kids were being subliminally programmed. That they were being taught, both that these other mutants or whatever, these other kids that were being transformed were their friends, and that they should get along, and also that, they should be fighting the heroes of the world. Clearly, they were manufacturing supervillains to take us and others like us down.
Okay, so I'll wander. I'll wander down to where Sandcrab is.
Mm-hmm.
The door would be open.
And I'll say, so before I was cut off from algorithm in my my computer delvings, this portal leads to another dimension.
Not surprising.
So,
But I am surprised to hear that algorithm's involved here.
Oh, he's just a thorn. He's just a thorn.
He's more than a thorn. We need to somehow capture him. He's
Oh,
part
don't
of
worry, don't
Socrates.
worry. I've got his number. So I'm fairly confident that once I send Christine through the door, that if it's going to go to another dimension, I will probably lose contact with her.
Well, you can tell him to go through and then come straight back, right?
Unless something prevents her from coming back, yes.
Yeah, but then we'll know that something prevents her from coming back.
Unless, of course, time passes differently in that dimension. But
Which is another story altogether. Yeah.
not that I would know any of
10
that.
years later.
So I will say, if y'all want to kind of test it, which one of them is doing it? Christine?
Christine, yeah.
Okay, if no one's going to block it and it's open already, Christine will go through. Fair? She goes through the portal.
Okay, yeah.
And
can she transmit back to me?
She cannot transmit back to you, but after a few seconds, she comes back and is able to share with you what she's seen. And it is the most creepy looking place that she's ever seen. There are robots in it that appear to be like slumped, not on, but like, but powered down or something.
So robot creepy.
Yeah, really kind of creepy. But the robots that are there are powered down. And then there's another portal on the other side. So it's like a trans-dimensional pathway, really.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will use my cyber illusions to show everybody what she sees.
Okay.
So like I'll have it appear as on the screen on the wall, sort of thing.
Okay. This is what they see. Give it a second to load. It's over here if you all can see it.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
That's what she sees. And we'll stop there.
Robots.
Say again?
Those are some creepy looking robots.
Yeah. And Blue Wave.
I hate that dance they're doing.
Yeah. That's coordinated.
Blue
Blue Wave sees this too, and he shudders at it. He says, I've gone through that portal. I've gone through that passage maybe 3 times. And every time it's been terrifying. But those robots are when they're awake, they're powerful.
So why don't we go through right now and take them out?
He says, I feel like with this group maybe we
Because
can.
it would be easier to shut down the portal.
He says there are people on the other side of that portal, he said.
Oh.
Then we do not shut down the portal.
Is the keyboard here still active?
It is.
So even though algorithm shut everything else down, this keyboard is still active?
Yeah, he just took the comm center offline. That was all. He just came in through some encrypted line and kind of forced his way in. Saw you snooping around, and he's not connected to any of this stuff.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah.
I'll figure out how.
Do we want to go through and destroy those robots?
Okay, so I think that this is how we're gonna end it. Yes.
Yeah, it's after our time to stop. I just wanted to show you all where we pick up the next scene. So
I think we have no choice but to go in, right? We know there's other visitors there.
I'll turn to Robert, and I'll say, Blue Wave. That is your code name, yes?
yes, it is. That's what they call me.
Do you wish to stick with that name?
Said, yeah, I kind of like it.
Okay. We are going to go through and rescue people. If you wish to join us, you are welcome.
He says, I want to see how this thing turns out. I'm going to stick with you guys. And at that same moment that he speaks that, Socrates chimes in and asks if there is a way you can make a physical connection to the portal.
What do you mean by a physical connection?
What do you mean by that?
Explain.
Yeah, let's pick it up offline because I don't exactly know what Game Night's referring to, but I'm sure he can chat it. So we're at the precipice of taking a decision about going through this portal. Blue Wave is game to go in it with you all and kind of explore what comes next. I hope you all had a good time with the less battle, more roleplay version of our session.
Always a favorite of mine.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Thanks for gaming.
Really cool.
Thanks for running.
Yeah.
Thanks for running. Thanks for
send the
being
scripts.
here.
Thank you all for being you.
Y'all have a good
And
evening.
your characters.
And Knight, thanks for being here and helping.
Yeah, it was cool. Y'all take care. Have a good evening. Bye.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, guys. Stay safe.